Another glorious day in Doki Doki High School. Who will I share my bento box with today? Will it be Sayori, my sweet childhood friend? Or Natsuki, the tsundere with a hidden interest in manga? Yuri, the shy and quiet bookworm? Or maybe the super popular club president Monica will finally notice me? The possibilities for romance are endless. I think I'll write a poem for Natsuki. She loves cute things, so I'll pick words like sunshine, fluffy, candy.
What the fuck?
Ever felt like a game wasn't just playing with you, but actively playing you? Like it reached out from the screen, messed with your actual files, and then made you question your taste in virtual girlfriends? Not me. Well, today we're diving headfirst, no seatbelts, into the world of Doki Doki Literature Club. Before we get into this video essay, a quick disclaimer. The games we're discussing will include some heavy themes, including depression, anxiety, self-harm, and suicide. If you're struggling at the moment, maybe it's best to click off this video, and there are some resources linked in the description. So today we're dissecting the DNA of Doki Doki Literature Club, what the game is, how it messes with my little monkey brain, and the reason for its notoriety all over the fucking internet. Also, just to note, I might swoon over the best character in the game a few times. You're not allowed to judge me. So you're browsing Steam and you come across a game that looks like any of 1,000 other anime visual novels. It's free and the reviews are good, so you hit download. You pretty much expect that you're about to be awkward and attempt to date a drawing. In Doki Doki Literature? God, this word's so fucking difficult for me to pronounce. In DDLC, you play as a high school student tricked into joining the school's literature club by your childhood friend Sayori. Once inside, you meet the rest of the club members. There's Natsuki, the tsundere Pokemon. She's definitely super cute but fucking annoying at the start. Then Yuri, the bookworm. And finally, there's Monica. Her personality is that she's fucking popular and shit. I fucking love her. The implied goal is to write poems to impress these girls and choose who to spend your time with. Basically, it's the standard gameplay loop for a dating sim. Make a choice, spam the spacebar, and unlock scenes. You even have a cute little mini-game where you select words for your poems, trying to appeal to the girl whose route you're aiming for. What a wholesome game. But suddenly, it all starts to go fuck up. The game transitions to talking to your potential girlfriends about deeper problems. Sayori, who until now has been a ray of goofy sunshine, reveals to you that she's dealing with crippling depression. It's a weird moment handled with a depth that you wouldn't expect from a game that, just minutes ago, was having you read a poem about how she wanted breakfast. Then you're put into the difficult situation of confessing your love or reaffirming your friendship to a very broken Sayori. Doesn't matter which one you choose though, because minutes later… I had a fucking heart attack the first time I played through this scene. Look at this shit. The error messages in the corner, the glitching, the music and sound effects truly horrified me on my first playthrough. Just listen. It is kind of funny though that this track is literally called Sayonara. Everything you just experienced up until this point was basically a wolf in sheep's clothing. And that isn't even the end of the game. This is just Act 1. You end back up on the main menu and Sayori's literally been deleted from the hero graphic. You can't reload and your only choice is to start a new game. Welcome to Act 2. This is where everything starts transforming into a hellscape. Yuri becomes increasingly weird and obsesses over knives more. Natsuki's cute facade begins to crack under the strain of what's heavily implied to be an abusive home life. The game itself feels like it's bugging out, or something bigger is at play, almost like it has a hidden director calling all the shots. The music sometimes has unsettling subtle changes from what we heard earlier, an indicator that this playthrough is different from before. All these horror elements start off gently, but then things like visual bugs tear across the screen. Character sprites start to glitch and contort into nightmarish versions of themselves. And they start saying terrifying shit that breaks the fourth wall. So how does this switch up of a cute pink dating sim absolutely fuck us up? Is it the jump scares? The scary visuals? Well, no, it's all about the subversion of expectations. You see, we as humans are pattern recognition machines. Doki Doki Literature Club literally spends hours of time training us to expect a cute, predictable dating sim. Pick a poem, pick the girl we like, repeat. We get invested in the characters, we start to care, we pick our favorites. Well, we pick our favorite. It's Monika, obviously. Then abruptly, everything we've been taught is gone, and the familiar suddenly becomes unfamiliar. Is your character of interest now hostile, or does she need saving? Her eyes might turn into black glitchy voids, or she might say shit that a character in a game wouldn't say, or she might do this. This game truly terrified me when I first started playing it, not only because I'm a pussy, but also because the developer does a great job of switching it up when you feel the safest. This is the uncanny in full effect, where something is simultaneously familiar yet disturbingly wrong. It's like if you booted up Ocarina of Time and it was actually a good game.
This game can suck on my fucking chode.
So Act 2 concludes with Yuri's confession, followed by a permanent nap on the classroom floor after some self-inflicted acupuncture with a kitchen knife. Then Natsuki shows up and vomits and fucks off, and then Monika just calmly steps in and tidies up the situation by literally deleting Yuri and Natsuki's character files from the game. So they're gone. Guess who's not gone? It's just you and Monika, sitting across from each other in a classroom with, space in the background, and then she starts talking. Not to your in-game protagonist. Oh, no. She starts talking directly to you, the person sitting at the computer. She reveals she's self-aware, that she knows she's a character in a video game, that she knows you're real. This is the infamous Just Monika sequence, the heart of Act 3, where the game stops pretending to be anything other than Monika's platform to get to you. The fourth wall doesn't just break here, it's fucking nuked from orbit. I think I'm okay with that though. I get to talk to Monika. Anyway, Monika addressing you as a player is what makes DDLC's horror so iconic. This is where Doki Doki Literature Club surpasses regular horror tropes. It's not just showing you scary images or telling a scary story. The horror literally isn't limited to the window you have open. She's in the background, pulling strings, deleting characters. And get this, right? Because it's brilliant. No matter how many times you restart the game from this point, Monika is always there. She has 56 text lines she can go through, so you have time to figure out that you can do the same to her character files as she's done to Natsuki's and Yuri's. The player has to literally go into the game's file directory and delete Monika's own character file to progress and escape Act 3. It's fucking genius! The game is making you an active participant in the story. You aren't just pressing the spacebar anymore. The Ren'Py engine, typically used for straightforward visual novels, was cleverly manipulated here using unorthodox Python scripting. This allowed the developer to do weird shit with your files, generating weird and creepy messages like this.
It's weirding me out, bro.
So, who's actually behind this? That would be Dan Salvato. He's been quite open about his love-hate relationship with anime and its tropes, as well as a desire to create something that would subvert those very tropes. He wasn't just aiming to create a horror game, he was crafting an experience about horror games, about dating sims, and about our relationship with fictional characters. DDLC explores what happens when a character knows they're a character. Before releasing DDLC, Salvato was known for creating 20XX Tournament Edition, a popular mod for Super Smash Bros. Melee. That experience in tweaking, deconstructing, and reassembling the code must have given him a unique insight on what goes on behind the scenes when you're actively changing it. It's clear DDLC is terrifying. This is psychological horror, so what exactly does that label mean? Unlike its more visual counterparts that rely on gore and jump scares, the psychological horror we see in DDLC just wants to fuck with your head. It's about building on your unease, focusing on the struggles of its characters, their insecurities, and their fears. Psychological horror wants to give you a sense of doubt about what might really be happening, the kind that stays with you, making you feel powerless and involved. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, can a 2D visual novel dating sim really be as scary as a 3D psychological horror game? I mean, we are talking about anime girls here. Well, I'm going to answer, fuck yes, because it achieves its terror in a different way. Silent Hill 2 was a masterclass in atmospheric horror and environmental storytelling. The thick fog, the quiet environment broken by creepy as fuck sounds, the way the town itself seems to be a manifestation of the protagonist's mind. Pyramid Head isn't just a scary monster with a massive knife and an even bigger helmet. He's James's repressed desire for punishment made real. Those bubblehead nurses? They symbolize his complex feeling about his terminally ill wife Mary. Silent Hill 2 presents its horror through metaphor, making the player decipher the meaning behind its creepy enemies and environment. DDLC, on the other hand, achieves its horror through a far more direct and invasive violation. It doesn't just reflect your character's perspective, it actively invades your real-world space, your game files, and weirdly how safe you feel. Monika talking directly to you, the player, sometimes even referencing things outside the game like if it detects streaming software. That's a level of intimate personal attack that Silent Hill doesn't typically aim for. I mean, look what happens if it knows you're running OBS! It's the fundamental difference between observing a nightmare and being trapped inside one that knows your name and is actively rewriting its rules around you and the decisions you make. Silent Hill makes me afraid of fog, rust, and shitty early 2000s camera angles, and DDLC makes me afraid of my own fucking PC! DDLC helped spawn a new wave of indie psychological horror games that weren't afraid to get weird and personal. Take Omori, for example. On the surface, it's an RPG maker game full of characters and enemies that you have to learn about. But peel all that back, and you'll explore themes of trauma, depression, anxiety, grief, suicide. Omori uses the split between a surreal dream world and the real world, along with a unique emotion-based combat system where happiness, sadness, and anger are actual battle mechanics. The recurring shadowy something entity is a constant reminder of unspoken horrors. And Basil, oh Basil, you sweet, perpetually traumatized baby girl. We just want to protect you! Then there's Miside, a more recent indie title that also plays brilliantly with the game within a game concept, much like DDLC's self-awareness. The player starts by interacting with Mita, a character from a cute mobile game, in a 2D world. After a number of in-game days, you're transported into a first-person 3D version of her world, and all the mechanics you just spent time learning are gone. And just like our dear Monika, Mita has layers. But not like the Green Man. Multiple personas, in fact. Some are helpful, guiding you through this new reality, while others, particularly Crazy Mita, are terrifyingly possessive and dangerous.
Fuck me. Oh!
Miside is another great example of how cute aesthetics can slowly twist into genuine horror through reality distortion and by subverting our expectations. By the way, you can watch our playthrough of Miside by clicking the banner up there. Of course, DDLC and the other games I just talked about didn't just spring into life fully formed. Games like Yume Nikki, first released back in 2004, were pivotal for the genre. It wanted players to piece together their own interpretations of the horror it provided, by not giving you a direct storyline. Then you have visual novels like Kimi to Kanojo to Nakosha no Koi, often referred to by its fans as Toteno, which is much fucking easier for my non-Japanese brain, which was deconstructing visual novel tropes and shattering the fourth wall years before DDLC made it mainstream. It also features a character who insists the world is a game and directly involves the player in unsettling ways. These games walked so DDLC could run. So now you've survived DDLC, you've explored the mental health scape of Omori, and probably developed some serious trust issues with any girl named Mita. The best one is good Mita. But what's the lasting impact of playing these games? They don't just provide a momentary scare, they affect you on a deeper level. The feeling of losing control, of being helpless as Monika rewrites your reality in DDLC, or the intense emotional journey of games like Omori as it explores grief and depression. These experiences are powerful. They make us reflect on our own fears, our own emotions, our vulnerabilities, and sometimes they even open up conversations about our own mental health. Now, it's absolutely crucial that we talk about the way these games handle sensitive and triggering topics. Portraying these can be quite a sticky one, because you've got on the one hand that games can be a great way to expose people to these topics. DDLC, for instance, is often praised by players for its portrayal of depression through Sayori, showing it's far more complex than just being sad. Omori is widely applauded for its sensitive handling of trauma and grief, but on the other hand, this creates risk. Lots of video games annoyingly continue negative stereotypes about mental illness, often associating it with violence, unpredictability, or utter hopelessness. That's why clear upfront trigger warnings, like the one at the start of this video, are so incredibly important. They give players agency over their experience. Developers have a responsibility to be thoughtful, to research and consult with mental health experts so they can introduce these topics in meaningful ways. So why, as humans who crave safety, do we willingly subject ourselves to this emotional and mental turmoil? Are we all just closet masochists with an absolute bonk-on for being scared?
No kink shaming here.
But psychological horror offers a unique thrill on multiple levels. It isn't just about the adrenaline spike of a jump scare, it's about engaging our minds and confronting complex, often taboo subjects like death and mental health from a safe distance, i.e. from a game you can close. In the same way we go to an escape room or a scare maze, nobody wants to be in that situation for real, but we do it because we want to know what it's like or if we can beat it. There's a lot of satisfaction you can get from surviving a game that's tried its absolute best to break you. I'm looking at you, Ocarina of Time! DDLC is a game that deceptively fluttered its long, pretty eyelashes at me as a free, innocent-looking dating sim, which then proceeded to permanently traumatize me. It's a staple in the psychological horror genre. You don't need some fucking super detailed 3D models and motion capture and the ray tracing fucking reflections. All it needs is clever writing and a sentient drawing of a girl who, for some reason, understands your file system. It has a huge legacy, not just in the memes and the Let's Plays.
Play with me! Play with me!
Ah! Oh, shit!
But in the wave of other indie horror games that followed. Like Choo Choo Charles.
Oh, he can't even see you. He shouldn't be able to park.
DDLC is one of the best horror games I have ever played. If you're okay with the topics and have never played it before, go hit that download button on Steam. Hey, thanks for fucking listening to my voice for ages. If you liked it, then like the video and hit the subscribe button. I run this channel with my best mate and we upload gaming content daily. But who hurt you? What game got inside your head and refused to leave? Let me know your most memorable game experiences in the comments below. Thanks for watching.